Well, hello again. I've got a couple of questions to answer from viewers since I still cannot reply to your comments without crashing my computer. Hi, everybody. Paul Shelbetter, your wicked Uncle Squiddy here in the dank basement talking about nasal snuff and other alternative non-combustible forms of nicotine consumption. And I've got a couple of good questions. First question is, do you ever use snuff to treat a headache? Okay, standard disclaimer, I am not a doctor. I do not give medical advice on this channel. The only thing I can tell you is what my experiences are and why I think things work the way they did. It's fairly non-scientific, so please take everything I say with a large grain of salt. Don't necessarily believe my words. Please consult your own healthcare professionals. That being said, look, nicotine is a central nervous system stimulant. That is how it is defined as a drug. And we have used other pain relievers augmented by a central nervous system stimulant. Particularly, let's look at an over-the-counter drug like Anacin. Okay, Anacin is aspirin and caffeine, nothing more. It's the caffeine that augments or helps out, potentiates the aspirin, all right? However, nicotine, while it is a stimulant, does a couple of other things that are not terribly good as far as pain relief goes. One of the things that nicotine does is to shrink the diameter temporarily of your blood vessels. You do not want to do that when you have a headache. That's why a lot of people will run their hands under hot water to get rid of a headache, because it relaxes the blood vessels. And therefore, no, I don't think that nasal snuff is a good treatment for most headaches. Yes, I see a preventative value, according to some users, in preventing migraines. I have also heard from other users that it helps them with sinus congestion, therefore sinus headaches. But I'm not going to swear to it. Experiment, talk to your doctor, and if you come up with a good pain relief combo that includes nasal snuff, please let everybody know. That would be great. But nasal snuff for me is a hobby, it's a pleasure, it's a vice. You know, it's just a way to use the demon tobacco without setting fire to it. And I like it. I like it for the varieties, and I love it for the nicotine. I like it for the aroma and what it does up in my nose. But use it to treat pain, not very often. I hope that answers that. Now let's talk about storing snuff. Someone else wrote me an email that said, I just got a tin of Princess Juana. By the way, great snuff. Get some. Sir Walter Scott's Princess Juana. Maybe one of the best snuffs. It's definitely in my top 10 of all time. So you're going to want to try it. But Sir Walter Scott's recommends that once the tins have been opened, that you refrigerate them. Okay? And he asked me, the viewer asked me, if that's necessary. Yeah, not necessary, but maybe useful. But let's talk about that. Hang on a second. Cheers. This is the Janta Naswar factory, or JNF, from Jodhpur, India. This is their Dragon Madras. Oh, that is so good, buttery, lovely. All right, let's talk about storing snuff. Look, if the manufacturer recommends that you store open tins in the fridge, do it. They know their product better than I do, better than you do. If Sir Walter Scott says, hey, once you've opened up one of these tins, put it back in the fridge for long-term storage. And in fact, even Wilson's of Sharrow says the same thing. Once you've broken the seal on one of Wilson's tins of snuffs, they recommend that if you want to prolong the life and the quality of the snuff, you put it in the refrigerator, and it will last an additional 6 months after being opened. You know what? I rarely do that. Yes, there are a couple of snuffs that I do refrigerate religiously, usually artisan snuffs from small artisans. You know, I consider Sir Walter Scott's to be a large mill, not an artisan, but they produce artisan snuff, so go figure. But yeah, all my old mills, all my OSPs, whatever Abraxas I have left, all of those go into my snuff fridge for storage. And that's fine. But when you remove the tin from the refrigerator, please, before you crack it open, let it come back to room temperature, or you will get condensation in your snuff that is never good. You don't ever want to get moisture in your snuff, and with some snuffs, it's absolutely deadly for the snuff. Let me give you an example. I just took a pinch of this Madras snuff. Now, even though Madras snuff is made with clarified butter, or ghee in Indian cuisine, you saute rustica in clarified butter, you get Madras snuff. Even though it's made with fat, which should spoil on the shelf, it doesn't. The only way that Madras will last less than 400 years is if you get a single droplet of water in it. That's all it takes. Don't drool in your snuff. If you've got a tub like this of Madras, make sure you're handling it absolutely with dry fingers. You do not want water in this unless you want it to spoil. As long as you don't put water in this, this is good to go. Refrigerated, not refrigerated, who cares? Now, I understand why artisan snuffs like Sir Walter Scott would recommend refrigeration, particularly in the case of SWS. A couple of their snuffs are very moist. They're very damp. In particular, the Creme de Figue, Moro Moro. There's a couple, thrice brewed. They're fairly moist coming out of the tin, and those I definitely would refrigerate. I've only had to throw away a few tins of snuff in my lifetime, and sadly one of them was a large jar of the Sir Walter Scott's Creme de Figue. It had mold in it that I could smell even without seeing it. It was very sad because I had to throw that whole tin away. I'm fooling around here with a tin of Old Mill. I have no idea what it is because the braille got squished. I don't know. Let's sniff it. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh dear. Oh, what a pity. I think I might have even just sniffed a little mold. Yeah, something doesn't smell right about this. That's too bad. But you're going to have that. You will have snuff spoil on you. All you can do is throw them away. Sad, but that's all you can do. So in general, yeah, you can keep your snuffs in the refrigerator as long as you allow them to return to room temperature before you open the tin. Doing so will prevent condensation in your snuff. For me, it's not absolutely necessary. I keep my stuffs at right around 65 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the ambient temperature of the dank basement. I don't particularly refrigerate them. Well, the aroma is about gone, and this is pilled up. I've got to go through these. Ooh, there's a hard chunk in here. And I mean, it's a hard chunk. It's like a rock. I can't even bust it up with a fingernail. Yeah, I'm going to have to go through these. I may be pitching some of these old mills, and it makes me very sad. As I alluded in an earlier video this week, there will never be a snuff like Old Mill. And if you have old mills, hang on to them, treasure them, cherish them, guard them as long as they last, because you'll never find them again. And that's a crying shame. Yeah, that was a very sad and untimely passing of Chef Daniel. And it's particularly sad because apparently, from the people I've spoken with, his family has no interest in disseminating his recipes or whatever for his nasal snuffs. And that's too bad, because we have definitely lost in the snuff world. Well, this one still smells pretty good. Let's try this. Yeah, that's fine. But they're all starting to turn a little bit. I may end up throwing all of these away, and that would be a heartbreaker, but it's going to happen. Anyway, I hope that answers the questions. Yes, nasal snuff. If the manufacturer says put it in the fridge after you open it, you might want to do that. I never have, except for my rarer artisan snuffs that I cannot replace anymore. Those I will keep refrigerated. The OSP snuffs are all refrigerated. Until a couple of days ago, the old mill I'd have kept under refrigeration. Also, until a couple of days ago, I had a couple of Abraxas. I want to find one of the Abraxas right here. I've got a couple of jars I found. Got 3 of them, as a matter of fact. So let's see what we have here. These will undoubtedly go back into storage as well. What has happened with the Abraxas, and it's sad, but what has happened with the Abraxas is they've turned into rocks inside of the jars. And that one, this is the Premium Fin. Perfectly lovely to snuff, and it did not yet turn into a rock. Good, 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 good. So I'm going to be going through some of these old snuffs today, deciding which I'm going to keep and which I'm going to throw away. This one's a rock. Yeah, this one's just turned it. It feels like billiard chalk. You know, for chalking your pool cue. Still smells just wonderful. Oh, that is so lovely. But it has taken on some moisture and it's gotten hard and stuff like that. So I'll have to go through these. So anyway, to repeat the answer of the 2 questions, yes, keep it under refrigeration if you can, if the manufacturer says so. Not absolutely necessary. If you tend to use up your snuff quickly, don't worry about how you store it. Just keep it cool, dry, and dark, and you'll be fine. Secondly, as a headache remedy, I'm not voting for it, but you may have a different experience. Be sure to let us know in the comments section below. And of course, don't forget, subscribe if you have not yet done so. I'm so close to 3,000 subscribers. It's pitiful. So tell your friends, get everybody to sign up. Click that notification bell and customize your notification settings so that you will be notified when I upload new content to this channel. Don't forget to hit that like button. It makes me feel so good. And of course, your comments are precious to me, even though at this moment, because of computer problems, I currently cannot respond to them, but I read every single comment. And if I have your email address, I will reply to you directly. You can always write to me to get your questions answered or make a comment or tell me to shut the F up at unclesquinty@gmail.com. Thanks for watching.